Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a bit of a unique journey into the profound benefits of spending time in nature.
Yeah, and here's the, let's say, surprising twist.
Yeah.
Our main source material for this deep dive. It's actually a how-to guide for English learners.
Sounds a little unusual, doesn't it, using an English guide for a deep dive on nature?
It does, yeah. But, the guide's simplicity is kind of its genius. It strips away all the academic jargon
Right.
and really cuts to the core.
Yeah.
It reveals those fundamental universal reasons why getting outside is just so good for us. It's almost like a distilled essence of well-being.
Exactly. It gets straight to those basic truths, which lets us use it as a launching pad. So while we're definitely not giving an English lesson today, we are using this guide as a unique lens, maybe, to magnify the science and psychology behind why outdoor activities are so vital.
So we'll unpack how nature impacts us physically, mentally,
Yeah.
and even socially, right?
Precisely. And for you, our listener, maybe you need that extra nudge to step outside. Or perhaps you already love it and want to articulate why it feels so good.
Or you're just curious about the science, maybe, behind that feeling you get.
Yeah, that refreshing feeling after time in the fresh air. This deep dive is for you. We're going to uncover some surprising facts and insights that go way beyond the obvious stuff.
Okay, let's jump in. Let's see what this guide, through our lens, has to offer.
So right off the bat, this English learner guide kicks things off by building vocabulary, around outdoor experiences.
Which makes sense. Having the right words is, it's foundational for understanding and communicating anything, isn't it?
True for everyone, definitely, not just English learners.
Absolutely. That precision in language can actually sharpen how we perceive our own experiences. And the guide, it categorizes this vocabulary, starting with types of activities.
Okay, what kinds of activities are we talking about here? Is there anything interesting or surprising about the ones they picked?
Well, it lists things like hiking, camping, jogging, cycling, gardening, swimming, and picnicking.
Gardening.
Yeah, what struck me was gardening. It's often, overlooked when we think outdoor activities, but it uniquely combines physical activity with a real sensory, hands-on connection.
To the soil, growth cycles.
Exactly. Something you just don't get with, say, a brisk jog.
That's a great point. It really highlights how nuanced being outside can be. It's not just one generic benefit.
Right. Each activity taps into different aspects of our well-being.
So jogging is clearly cardio, but cycling adds that element of exploration, seeing new places.
And gardening, while maybe less intense physically, offers that quiet, focused engagement. It can be deeply meditative, a totally different kind of recharge.
Okay, so the guide then moves into the benefits. It details physical health gains, increased strength, better fitness, more energy. I definitely recognize that feeling.
But then there's the mental health side, which, is increasingly critical in our, fast-paced world.
Tell me about it.
The guide mentions peace, calmness, happiness, stress relief, less anxiety, and feeling grounded.
Those are all feelings I chase when I get outdoors. And it's not just, subjective. We know from research that being in nature can actively lower cortisol levels, our stress hormone.
Absolutely. And the guide also highlights the social benefits, things like building friendships, teamwork, strengthening bonds through shared experiences like a team hike or group camping.
Exactly. I often find those shared experiences create the most lasting memories, and then there's that overall feeling, right? Rejuvenated, recharged.
And the sense of rejuvenation, it isn't just a feeling. There are studies on forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku, they call it in Japan.
Oh, right. I've heard of that.
They show that spending time in woods can actually boost our natural killer cell activity, crucial for the immune system, and reduce stress hormones.
Wow.
It's a measurable recharge, like at a cellular level, not just a feeling.
That's fascinating. A real tangible impact on our immunity. Okay, so the guide also includes nature words to describe these places, right? Forest, mountain, lake.
Yeah. Beach, sunlight, fresh air. These words help us vividly describe the setting, letting us share our experiences more fully. And it lists emotions too. Relaxed, excited, refreshed, happy.
It even offers a practical tip. Pair an activity with a benefit and a feeling. Like hiking improves my cardiovascular health. It makes me feel invigorated.
It's a simple exercise, sure, but it encourages mindfulness. It helps you consciously connect your actions to their positive effects. When I do this, I actually feel this.
Okay, so we've built the vocabulary foundation. The next step the guide outlines is mastering key sentence structures.
Right. And while this is maybe aimed at English learners primarily, Clear communication is crucial for all of us, isn't it?
Couldn't agree more.
So the guide starts with the basics. Subject, verb, object, simple stuff. I enjoy swimming.
The building blocks.
Then it progresses, connecting an activity to its benefit. Swimming is good exercise.
And then adding the why, the reason.
Exactly. I swim because it's refreshing. And finally, it shows how to combine these bits into more complex sentences, like, I love cycling because it keeps me fit, or gardening helps me feel grounded.
These structures definitely allow for more detailed, more personal explanations. Okay, then the guide moves to enriching language, adjectives, adverbs.
Yeah, making it more vivid. So instead of just air makes me feel good, you get fresh air makes me feel good.
Or I usually feel much better after a brisk run.
Right. These descriptive words paint a much clearer picture. You get these evocative sentences like, the majestic mountains made our hike unforgettable.
Oh, nice.
Or, I happily swam in the crystal clear lake.
I love how just adding a couple words can really transform a bland statement into something you can almost see and feel.
It makes the experience come alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The guide also emphasizes using connecting words like because, since, or as to state reasons to establish that cause and effect.
Ah, that's so important because it moves beyond just stating a fact to explaining why it actually matters to you. Like, I go camping because it helps me disconnect from technology.
Exactly. Or, since walking is easy on my joints, I do it every day. And as nature is inherently calming, I feel more relaxed outdoors.
Right.
This equips you with the language to explain why these activities are personally valuable, not just, that you happen to enjoy them.
Exactly. It's about articulating that deeper impact. Okay, so with this sort of enhanced communication toolkit, let's dive into the specific benefits the guide touches on, and then, maybe more importantly, expand on them with some deeper insights.
All right, let's break it down. Starting with physical health. The guide gives helpful phrases like, it boosts my stamina, it helps me maintain a healthy weight, it strengthens my core muscles.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, and concrete examples, like, when I go for a long hike, I build cardiovascular endurance and burn a significant number of calories.
Or, cycling regularly not only improves my leg strength, but also contributes to a healthier heart. These are great practical phrases, but okay, beyond just feeling stronger, what's the deeper physiological impact happening there?
Well, okay, think about hiking. Understanding the impact means looking at how varied terrain actually improves proprioception.
Proprioception?
Yeah, that's your body's awareness of its position and movement in space.
Yeah.
Improving that can reduce your fall risk as you age, which is huge.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or how consistent cardio, like cycling, actually increases mitochondrial density, meaning your cells get more efficient at producing energy.
Ah.
So it's not just about burning calories, it's about, optimizing your internal machinery.
That's a fantastic insight. And it connects directly to our long-term health goals in a way that's frankly way more engaging than just another gym workout. Okay, let's talk mental health.
Right. The guide offers phrases like, it helps me declutter my mind, it alleviates my anxiety, it fosters a sense of tranquility.
Yes, please.
Examples include, after spending time walking in the woods, I feel a significant reduction in my stress levels. Or, gardening provides me with a sense of focus and accomplishment, which is incredibly calming.
I can absolutely relate to that feeling, that mental clarity after being just immersed in nature. I remember one really stressful week. I took myself for a walk in a local park, nothing fancy, and within maybe 15 minutes, I felt a noticeable shift. It's powerful stuff.
That's the core of it, isn't it? The guide calls it stress relief, but the deeper insight supported by loads of research is how nature's soft fascination.
Soft fascination.
Yeah, its ability to gently hold our attention without demanding intense focus that actually restores our directed attention. It's called attention restoration theory.
Okay.
So it's not just feeling better, it's a measurable cognitive recharge. It helps combat mental fatigue.
That's a fantastic distinction. It explains why it feels so restorative, not just that it does. Okay, next up, social benefits.
The guide outlines phrases like, it's a fantastic way to connect with others, I've met some wonderful people through outdoor clubs, and it deepens the bonds I have with my friends.
Community building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Examples include, going camping with a group of friends creates lasting memories and strengthens our relationship, and playing team sports outdoors like soccer helps me build camaraderie.
Right. Connecting with others who share interests. It's all about finding your community, isn't it? Outdoor activities are such a powerful social fabric.
They really are.
Whether it's that mutual support during a tough hike or just the simple joy of sharing a picnic, those shared experiences create a unique bond.
Absolutely. And, from an evolutionary perspective, humans have always thrived in cooperative outdoor settings, whether for survival or, leisure. These shared flow states or moments of collective effervescence you get in group activities really contribute to stronger social bonds and that sense of belonging.
Collective effervescence, I like that. Okay, and finally, the guide touches on environmental benefits.
Yeah, providing phrases like, it fosters a greater appreciation for the natural world. Choosing active transport reduces my environmental impact, and being outdoors makes me more aware of conservation efforts.
Good examples.
Like cycling to work instead of driving helps lower carbon emissions. Or hiking through diverse ecosystems highlights the importance of protecting these natural habitats.
It really is a positive feedback loop, isn't it? Nature benefits us, which then motivates us to protect it.
Precisely. This connection speaks to what's sometimes called biophilia, our innate human tendency to connect with nature, with other living things.
Right.
The more we experience nature's value firsthand, the more compelled we feel to safeguard it.
So we've covered the vocabulary, the sentence structures, and really dug into the benefits. Now the guide shifts gears a bit to adding personality and practical conversation skills.
Yeah, this is where language gets a little less formal, maybe a little more colorful. It focuses on idioms and phrasal verbs. They capture meaning in such concise ways.
They're like little linguistic shortcuts, aren't they? Packed with meaning.
Totally. For idioms, the guide offers blow off steam.
Meaning like release pent-up energy or stress. After a demanding day at work, I often go for a jog to blow off steam. Yeah, that's definitely my go-to sometimes.
Then there's in the fresh air.
Simple means outdoors. I always feel more invigorated when I spend time in the fresh air. Effective, evocative.
And recharge your batteries.
Restore your energy. A weekend camping trip in the mountains really helps me recharge my batteries. All these idioms just add a layer of, informal expression. Make you sound incredibly natural.
They really do. And phrasal verbs are just as valuable. We have work out.
Meaning to exercise. I try to work out by cycling several times a week. Standard.
And wind down. To relax. Gardening in the evening helps me wind down before bed. That's a lovely way to end the day.
It really is.
And catch up. Meaning to spend time talking with someone you haven't seen in a while. We often catch up with friends over a picnic in the park. Incorporating these common phrases can significantly boost your fluency.
It's like adding those extra flourishes to your conversation, yeah. Makes it richer, more dynamic. Now, the guide also gets into the practical side of things, navigating conversations about the outdoors.
Yes, because knowing the words is one thing, right? Knowing how to use them confidently is another. It covers how to start, maintain, and end these conversations gracefully.
Okay, so for starting,
it suggests open-ended questions like, do you enjoy spending time outdoors? Or just sharing your own opinion first. I find hiking to be incredibly rewarding.
Inviting others in.
Exactly. For maintaining a conversation, the guide recommends active listening, adding details yourself, asking follow-up questions, so you're genuinely engaged.
Not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Right. Like after someone shares something, you might say, oh, that's interesting. Have you explored any new trails recently?
It's like a conversational dance, yeah. Showing genuine interest, keeping the exchange flowing.
And for ending a conversation smoothly, it suggests summarizing main points, maybe. So it sounds like we both find a lot of value in spending time outdoors.
Nice summary.
Or suggesting future interaction. Maybe we could plan a hike together sometime.
I always appreciate that kind of proactive closing. Leaves things on a positive, open note.
These are just practical strategies, really, that make interactions more satisfying. The guide also gets into adapting your language for different situations.
Code switching. Because how you talk to your friends is obviously very different from, say, a formal presentation.
Precisely. The guide highlights how formality influences word choice, sentence structure, even tone. So, casual chat with friends, you might say, I love hitting the trails. It's so chill and good for my head.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like how I talk to my running buddies. It's all about connection and ease.
But in a formal setting, like presenting research, you'd choose clearer, more precise language. Engaging in outdoor recreational activities offers significant benefits for both physical and mental health.
Much more structured.
And in writing, maybe an essay, you'd use connecting words like firstly, furthermore, provide detailed explanations, maybe even cite studies. Studies have indicated that exposure to natural light can positively influence our circadian rhythms.
Knowing your audience, tailoring your language, it's paramount for effective communication, isn't it? A mark of real linguistic agility.
The guide also importantly addresses common challenges people might face when talking about these experiences. One is just forgetting a word.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. Total mental blank.
Right. The guide suggests using general terms as a fallback, like that activity. The one where you walk in the forest or describing it. It's when you go for long walks in nature for enjoyment.
Get the meaning across, even without the perfect word. That's a good fallback.
Another hurdle can be pronunciation. The guide specifically mentions hiking and relaxed as words some people find a bit tricky. It recommends listening to native speakers.
Good advice.
And then there's confidence, which is huge. It encourages starting small, maybe even just talking to yourself about your experiences first.
A safe space to practice. And it's a good reminder that making mistakes is just part of the process for everyone. Even native speakers stumble over words sometimes.
Absolutely. The key is just to keep practicing. Don't let fear hold you back. The guide also touches briefly on cultural nuances.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Noting that different English-speaking cultures might value or talk about outdoor activities differently.
Like some cultures might emphasize the physical challenge more.
Exactly. That sort of we conquered that mountain vibe. Versus maybe other cultures focusing more on the peaceful, restorative aspects.
Yeah.
A gentle stroll in the countryside can be quite therapeutic. Understanding these subtle differences helps foster more sensitive communication.
It also cautions against generalizations, right? Like assuming everyone loves hiking.
Yeah. So instead of, do you love the beach? Maybe ask, do you enjoy spending time by the sea? It's just more inclusive.
A subtle but important shift.
Precisely. Respecting individual preferences and cultural perspectives just enhances the connection. These insights remind us how deeply language and culture are intertwined. Understanding that can be like a cultural bridge.
So to wrap up our deep dive today, we started with what seemed like, well, a simple English language guide, but it truly served as this unexpected and, I think, powerful lens.
It really did.
It gave us a comprehensive look at the many benefits of being outdoors for our bodies, our minds, our social lives, and yeah, even our planet.
And as we explored, having the, precise vocabulary and the confidence to talk about these benefits, it doesn't just enrich your own experiences. It allows you to connect more deeply with others who share that passion for nature.
Absolutely. So, for you, our listener, we'll leave you with this thought. How can you weave even small moments of outdoor time into your routine? And what surprising positive effects might that have on your life?
And maybe, just maybe, inspired by our chat today, you might reach out to someone. Start a conversation about your favorite way to experience nature. Perhaps sharing some of the deeper reasons why, based on what we've uncovered.
What a great idea. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
OW tap code example you found. Just devastating, but so powerful.
Isn't it? That tiny signal, just knowing someone else was there, provided immense hope and resilience in total isolation. A simple tap.
Shows how vital even the smallest connection can be.
It really does. And importantly, your material also points out it's not just about getting support. Giving it is just as crucial for your own resilience.
Helping others, acts of kindness, they bounce back to you.
They absolutely do. Contributing outwards, being genuinely interested in others, it boosts your own sense of capability and connection.
It's not just feel good, it actually strengthens you.
Yeah, the psychological benefits are well documented in your sources. When you focus on contributing, your own sense of agency and purpose often grows, builds your resilience. It's a positive loop.
So investing in others really is investing in yourself.
A key takeaway for sure. Another thing your material highlights is learning from role models.
People who inspire you, show you what's possible.
Yes, seeing resilience in action is powerful, but your sources add a nuance here. Learn from both positive and negative examples.
So learn who to be like, but also who not to be like.
Exactly. Both kinds of examples help clarify your own values, show you potential pitfalls, and help define your unique path to resilience. It's like a map showing scenic routes and danger zones.
Okay, that makes sense. Provides practical guide. Now, resilience isn't just mental, right? The physical side is big in your sources.
Oh, huge. Prioritizing physical and mental fitness is presented as non-negotiable. It's not just about brute strength, though being healthy helps.
It's about handling stress better.
Yes,
Yeah.
equipping your whole system, your body, to manage stress, physical and emotional.
I like that stress vaccine analogy from the material.
It's very apt. Regular exercise teaches your body how to ramp up stress systems and then return to baseline efficiently.
Like practice runs.
Exactly. So when emotional or psychological stress hits, your body is better trained to handle the biochemical flood and recover faster.
So getting active, walking, dancing, whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally training your body for life's stresses.
Don't underestimate it. And tied to that, sleep. Absolutely vital. Your sources consistently point to 7-8 hours as foundational.
Lack of sleep just tanks everything.
It depletes your emotional reserves immediately, impairs thinking. You just can't be resilient when you're exhausted.
Makes sense. And mental fitness.
That's about keeping your mind sharp, flexible, adaptable. Cultivating that growth mindset, believing you can develop your abilities. Embracing learning.
Like mental cross-training.
Yeah, good way to put it. Learning new things, engaging in deep conversations, hobbies that challenge you. It keeps your mind agile, ready to adapt.
Cognitive flexibility.
Which is a hallmark of resilient folks. And it connects to another idea, the resilience toolbox.
Meaning they have multiple ways to cope, not just one strategy.
Right. Your sources show resilient people have a range of tools, and crucially, they know how to assess a situation and pick the right tool for that challenge.
Like knowing when you need a hammer versus a screwdriver.
Perfect analogy. Knowing when to use humor, when to seek support, when to buckle down and problem solve, when to just accept difficult emotions.
And humor comes up specifically as a tool.
Yes, surprisingly often. Not about ignoring seriousness, but finding levity. Shifting perspective, releasing tension, finding moments of joy even when things are dark.
A little mental breathing room. Maybe not taking yourself quite so seriously all the time.
That's part of it. Finding the absurdity can be incredibly disarming when you feel overwhelmed. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Your material also emphasizes meaning in work.
As a driver of resilience, not just the paycheck.
Definitely not just the paycheck. It's feeling a sense of purpose. Feeling like your work contributes to something bigger than just you.
That provides motivation.
Deep motivation. It helps you push through obstacles, burnout. It gives you a why.
And that applies no matter the job.
Right.
CEO or janitor.
Absolutely. It's about finding that connection between what you do day to day and the larger good it serves. Viewing it as a calling, maybe, or a mission.
Taking pride in doing it well.
Yes. Even simple pride in a job well done, knowing it matters to someone, somewhere, that reframes work entirely.
It stops being just a task list and becomes a source of strength.
Exactly. Which brings us to the practical stuff. Your sources offer concrete strategies you can use, putting ideas into action.
The how-to.
Right. First, what we've touched on, prioritize self-care. It's preventative maintenance.
Sleep, food, exercise, the basics.
The non-negotiable basics, according to your research, they build your reserves. You need that foundation.
Makes sense. What's next?
Setting boundaries, learning to say no.
Ooh, that's hard for a lot of people.
It is. But saying no to things that drain you, or don't align with your values, or just stretch you too thin, it's essential. Overcommitment kills resilience.
Saying no protects your energy for what matters.
Precisely. Third, mindfulness.
Paying attention.
Paying attention to right now, without judgment. Noticing your thoughts, feelings, sensations, but not getting carried away by them. Just being present.
Sounds simple, but maybe isn't easy.
Takes practice. Meditation helps, but it can also be just focusing on your breath for a minute, or really savoring your food, or mindfully walking.
What does that do for resilience?
It builds calm, clarity, better emotional regulation. You learn to observe your reactions instead of being hijacked by them. It's like a mental workout for managing stress.
Okay, and last one.
Cultivating gratitude. A really powerful fan.
Focusing on the good stuff.
Actively shifting your focus from what's wrong or missing to what's abundant, what you appreciate. Even small things.
How do you practice that?
Keep a gratitude journal, maybe. Or just take a moment each day to think of 3 things you're thankful for. Or tell someone you appreciate them.
And that helps resilience how?
It literally rewires your brain to notice the positive more easily. It's a direct antidote to negativity and pessimism, boosts your whole perspective.
So self-care, boundaries, mindfulness, gratitude. These aren't just nice ideas, they're active practices.
They're the training, they build the foundation, and resilience, as all your sources emphasize, it's not a destination you just arrive at.
It's a journey, ongoing.
Absolutely. It's a process.
Right.
Learning, adapting, facing stuff, integrating lessons. You'll have setbacks. You'll feel knocked off course sometimes.
So be patient with yourself.
Yes. And celebrate the progress you do make, even small steps. And please remember to reach out. Ask for help when you need it. You don't do this alone.
Your material is really encouraging here. It suggests everyone has this capacity.
It really does. Like any skill or muscle, the more you practice these things, the stronger, the more adaptable you become.
The potential is there.
Within your reach.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, based on everything you shared, resilience is about thriving through hardship, built on that clear-eyed optimism, facing fears.
Anchored by that inner compass, strong connections, fueled by physical and mental fitness.
Having that diverse coping toolbox, finding meaning in work.
And actively practicing those strategies. Self-care, boundaries, mindfulness, gratitude.
It's a journey, needs patience, needs practice, but the payoff seems huge.
Immense. It's about building that capacity to create a life with strength, joy, purpose, not just despite challenges, but really truly shaped by how you navigate them.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, listening.
Yeah, consider the ripple effect. If you cultivate your own resilience, if your way of handling difficulty inspires even one other person,
how might that change things for your family, your community?
How might your resilience ripple outwards? Something to think about.
Definitely something to ponder. Thank you for sharing these sources and joining this deep dive.
Thank you.
We really encourage you to maybe revisit some of these ideas or pick just one strategy, gratitude, mindfulness, setting one boundary, and try focusing on it this week.
Start small, be kind to yourself, keep practicing.